When you came to Saturday Night Live,
Mm-hmm.
think about it. Lorne Michaels had left, and now he was coming back.
Yes.
And you were part of that cast that was hired to revive Saturday Night Live.
Right,
It
because
was on its
85, the cast was put in a fake fire.
Yeah.
And they kept Dennis Miller, Nora Dunn, and John Lovitz.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then Phil Hartman and Jan Hooks and I came in with Kevin Nealon. And we were told, I don't even know, I've never asked Lorne this, but we were told if we didn't, we had to hit the ground running. We had an 8-show pickup.
Right.
The show was going to get canceled at Christmas if we didn't do something.
Isn't that amazing? Because,
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live to only have an 8-show pickup, it shows you how bad a shape it was in.
I heard it was canceled.
Right.
And then Bernie Brillstein, went to Brandon and said, "You got to give Lorne one more chance." He was Lorne's manager.
And so Lorne was banking on you so much that I don't think he's ever done this with anyone. Before you even, he hires you for Saturday Night Live, and he puts you up in his house, and he lets you live there until the show starts.
Yes.
What was the reasoning behind that? That you had no money, or that he wanted to somehow indoctrinate you into the Saturday Night Live family? I mean, what was he trying to do?
Well, first of all, to put it in context, this is not a joke. So I'm doing clubs. I'm playing a pizza parlor in Martinez, California.
All right.
To like 4 people. This is in July.
Wasn't it surreal when you're staying at Lorne Michaels and Lorne is and here you're about to start
I
Saturday
was
Night
playing the
Live.
pizza parlor. Now I'm hanging at Lorne Michaels' house.
Yeah, you go from 0 to 60, or 160.
Crazy.
You're hanging out at Lorne Michaels' house, and Paul McCartney
was there that summer.
and he's hanging out with you in that house. You're staying in Jack Nicholson's room.
Yes.
I mean, Lorne knows everybody.
Yes.
And when Paul McCartney walks in, do you start doing the Paul McCartney for him?
No.
Oh, hello, Paul.
Oh, no.
No?
Well, he said, Paul's coming over tonight, and I'll never forget that. That would be Paul McCartney. So I'm already can't really even look at Lorne Michaels. I'm so terrified. And I did answer the door, and it was Paul McCartney and Linda. And the house was empty. It was just me, Lorne, A. Whitney Brown. Chevy was next door. He came over later.
Wow.
And Paul did say to me, "Your face is going a bit funny." So I guess I just turned bright red or something.
Wow. Yeah.
So this was a presence of mind thing for anyone who meets a celebrity. At the moment, I thought, okay, I'm not going to mention the Beatles.
Right.
This was like 86.
Which is such a shame that you can't say to Paul McCartney,
Well,
hey, can I talk to you about the Beatles? But I guess
know.
it's not cool, right? You got to be cool over
You got to be cool.
Michaels,
But I picked out an album called Tug of War. He'd done in 1981, and the title song, Tug of War. And I said, well, in the chorus of that song, when you said, one day we will stand up on top of the mountain with the flag unfurled, but it won't be soon enough for me, what were you thinking? Paul loved me after that.
He did. He liked it.
He just
That's
dropped.
a great question.
Oh, I was like, So,
Yeah.
so we became... So then after that,
You mean if you had called in like Blackbird as a reference?
If I'd said, who played the drums on Dear Prudence? You wouldn't like that. Why did Ringo only have one song? And there was a list of stupid things I could say. So he's sitting right next to me, and he's playing a disc of a new song he'd recorded, never been on an album.
Right.
And this is what I'll never forget for people who haven't heard this story. So there's A. Whitney Brown, Chevy Chase, Lorne Michaels, Paul and Linda.
And you're a kid who has never been on TV. I mean,
No,
you're
I'm
sort
just
of,
nobody.
You feel like the help.
I mean,
Right.
totally. Yeah.
Do people go like, who is this guy and what's he doing here?
Yeah, why is he hanging
Just
around?
like, oh, this is my new prodigy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But they were so sweet because my wife wasn't with me at the time. She was staying in California because I said everything I'd ever done was canceled. I'll be back in 6
Don't
weeks.
worry.
She had a good job.
Right.
But they were very worried, Paul and Linda, They said, we don't like that Paul is not here with you, And I'd only known him 5 minutes, so charming. But he leans into me right as the song starts, to me, who he'd met 10 minutes before, and said, and this is exactly how it sounded, you know, Dane.
Dane.
Sometimes when you're writing, you try so hard to live up to whatever, you end up ruining the fucker. Isn't that? It's poetic.
Yes.
Because, what a thing for him to live up to. And then the next night, he'd had a new album pressed to play. And I said, yeah, bring it tomorrow. So I didn't think they'd remember. So they'd come over at 9 o'clock. I go, oh, you brought the album pressed to play. Linda says to Paul, see, I told you he'd want to hear it.
Oh, my
So they were having
goodness.
conversations about
you.
Wow.
So that whole thing was surreal.